3 and go.
All right, so I'll count down from 3, and we'll start the timer on go. And timing starts on selection of the difficulty, and we're gonna do it on easy. So without further ado, 3, 2, 1, go. So first off, we're instantly just gonna be skipping the cutscene because the cutscenes are skippable in this game, which is really great. And the first strat is a pretty frame perfect strat, if I do say so. We're just going to hope that Mario gives us good RNG, which he does, and we're just going to fall down here. And miraculously, it kills him. So that's just a very consistent way to do that fight. In a task form, it'd probably be faster to use Mario, but we're not task. So, so for this fight, we're going to go Kirby for multiple reasons. One is he just kills things pretty good. He has multiple attacks that can kill. And also, since we did the last fight with Kirby, the game's going to load in Kirby a lot faster than if we were to pick any other character. So we pick him firstly for the loads, and then secondly, he also is good for the fight. If the loads weren't as much of a factor, Mario would be another good option. And we're getting weird RNG right now. All the items that spawn is RNG, obviously. Sometimes bombs can be really useful. The main items that we want to get are like bats, mega mushrooms, stuff of that nature. Hammers are very situational. A lot of items that you would think are pretty good are more so situational than anything else. But Zelda won the bid war, and I also just kind of did it for muscle memory, but good thing is Zelda won. So the Zelda Peach bid war is for that specific fight. And in the story of this game, whoever you save in that fight is who you can play a little bit like after this stage here. Whoever you don't save gets captured by the evil organization that we are trying to save the world from right now. So just that first stage was literally just Kirby and Mario were fighting, and that's just the whole point of this world that they live in. They just fight for entertainment, which is somewhat morbid, but it's fine. But they just fight, and the stadium started getting attacked by the subspace matter. I tried. I didn't time that. Alright, Mega Mushroom like that in those certain situations is really good for movement, but depending on when you get it, it can kind of mess up certain things, but that was still fine. But they're just fighting. The stadium gets attacked by the subspace matter, and Pit is watching from above, and he's coming down to help us. So this is going to show off one of the most like broken parts of Brawl, other than Meta Knight, is gliding. So whenever we have a character that's going to be able to glide, so it's Pit and Meta Knight for the most part. Ooh, I'm a little low. Okay. Pit and Meta Knight. Charizard can also glide, but Charizard's glide's very slow. But using glide is and using correct momentum and saving your jumps and such like that can make it so you can glide over a lot of different stages, and we'll see a lot of gliding later on. But that's the first example of it. So right here, it's actually faster to go Sheik over Kirby, even though you have to, turn into Sheik. Sheik's running speed is just pretty good. So we're just gonna go Zelda. And if we saved Peach, we would have been Peach and Kirby here. And Sheik is faster, so that's why we want to save Zelda. So this is a pretty basic stage. We're just running through. We're gonna have a few fights here and there, but this is kind of your average, ordinary Subspace Emissary stage. We pick 2 characters and just run through the level. Nothing gimmicky or weird about it. Ooh, that's a weird throw. It's RNG whether those enemies throw a rock, a what looks like to be missing no, or just food or nothing that can hit you. So, and usually that hitbox isn't that low, but he threw that rock pretty low. So we're gonna hug this outer corner of that so that none of the mites will hit us, and we just up smash and kill that portal. So whenever the screen flashes, it means that we're in a locked fight. So we have to kill a certain amount of enemies in order to get out of the fight, which is another big premise of the run. Is just beating the fights as fast as possible. And I didn't mention it earlier because we just literally flew over the entirety of the stage. But in Skyworld, we actually skipped a fight because some of the fights that they made in this game, they made the ceiling not go all the way to the top, like where the death zone is. So you can just fly over a fight trigger. So we also try to abuse that as much as we can. There's instances like the jungle, the stage that we're in right here, where there is a fight skip, but it's not able to be done on in regular any percent because we just don't have the character selection to be able to do it. But it's possible on like New Game Plus or something like that. Right here, we're just gonna be Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong's run speed's a little bit better. If you time that hammer or that cannon shot, you can get out into that door a little bit quicker. Diddy's has a hard time with teching after cannon shots, so you want to angle Diddy Kong more so towards the ground so that you don't have to tech and you just can roll out. And right here, we're actually on a cycle, which we did get the cycle. We want this, we want that to be at the top so that we can hit the first group of those enemies, and then we can just do it again. And sometimes that hammer bro will get hit by it, and sometimes it won't. It's RNG whether it'll jump or not. And now we're in a auto-scroller. There is a few instances in this game where we can actually speed up auto-scrollers in terms of either getting into the door, because usually whenever there's an auto-scroller, there's a door that stops it. So I have like getting into the door faster, or jumping over certain skips or fights or triggers, which we'll see later on as well. But another way to make auto-scrollers go by faster is to change the difficulty, which isn't allowed in this category, but if you were to do a run of Subspace on intense mode, the side-scrolling sections of certain stages will just be faster than easy. So there's certain stages that are faster on like intense difficulty than they are on easy difficulty, just because it saves so much time over side-scrolling. And I took that death as Diddy Kong because I want to be Donkey Kong for this fight, because Donkey Kong is very consistent with this fight. And also, it'll get into the differences a little bit later in the run. But I'm actually playing on PAL version of this game. The amount of knowledge that we have on version differences isn't that much, because most of the runners that we have all run for Subspace run on either NTSC or PAL. But a few months ago, a runner named Dragolina, we were just searching for skips, trying to find things to make the run faster, and he found out that we were able to skip a big portion of a stage. And when the other NTSC players tried performing it on, our US version, it wasn't working. So we decided that, or we came to the conclusion that it was a PAL only skip that saves about 1:20 to 1.5 minutes. So that was like the initial reasoning as to why we were starting to buy PAL versions. And then through doing runs and stuff like that, we also found out that PAL version has faster menuing loads. So PAL version is just a very good version for this game for some reason. We're still trying to see if other versions would be faster. Like there's JP in Korean version, which we still want to test because we have no information as to if JP or Korean have any differences. But we do want to try out, so. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, we're fine. All right. And that was a pretty basic stage. The reason we went Mario there is just because he can do the first movement section a little bit better than Pit can, and also his fight. He can fight better those enemies than Pit does. So Mario just outclasses Pit in that situation. All right. So this is RNG, whether what certain moves he uses. We want him to just kind of stay still, which he hasn't done too much. I lost like about 3 to 4 seconds right there, so that wasn't that bad. But we used to go Fox here, partially because he does the fight a little bit better, but also because we want to be Fox for this movement section, and it'll load in faster. And this stage shows off the yellow and blue doors. The best way for me to describe what these doors are, it's kind of just like you go into a door and you go into the same exact room, but in a different like realm or something, and you just end up in the same spot, but with a few different circumstances in the room. And right there, if I roll past that second Toto a little too late, which is usually what we want to go for because we don't want to get stuck in their hitbox. You'll actually get hit by the bird, so you want to we try to roll a little earlier when we're trying to do that. That's a pretty simple fight over here. We have to do that fight so that we can break that bomb, which opens up this little section right up here. And we're just going to go back into this door and continue onward. Right there is an instance of something else that we try to do in our fights to make them go faster. Whenever you kill an enemy, it'll roll just in the direction that you hit it, just like that. And in certain situations like that last room where we needed the Toto to disappear completely before the door opened, we want the enemy to disappear as soon as possible. So in instances like that, the fastest way to make the Toto disappear is to forward smash him on the last amount of damage that he has. So he disappeared as fast as possible by bouncing off the left or the right wall and then the left wall, and he just disappears completely. Another way that we try to do that is either hitting enemies off of each other. That'll also make them just disappear completely, just like those two bullet bills, just like that. Or if there's items that have hitboxes like this, I can't remember the name of the item, but the fireball. Fireballs, spike balls, bombs, bomb boxes, stuff like that have hitboxes. So if you hit an enemy into it, it'll just disappear completely. Again, on certain difficulties, this will actually go faster. But we actually took the SD at the end of this so that we can be Diddy Kong for the fight, because there's a fight that's about to happen here. This little movement section, which is fine. Oop, I fucked. Okay. Okay. That was a little wonky, but we're fine. Alright, and we're going into this fight. Alright, so this is Shadow Bowser. It's not like actually Bowser. Oh, he jumped. Oh, shoot.
Mind if we had a guest?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You go right ahead.
Hello.
Hello. All right.
The community wants me in commentary, so I'll do it.
I don't know who this kid is, but.
Hmm.
All right. So basically, that fight, we just want to spike him as soon as possible. He can troll a little bit, but I tripped like 3 times, so it's fine. The fight still went okay. But yeah, now we're going to the Ruin Zoo, which for the first part of it is side scroller. So if you've got like donations or anything, go right ahead.
Nope, not right now.
All right, cool. Whoa. All right. So I've tried testing things to see if like certain instances will make loading into the next section of the stage faster. Like just not taking damage at all during the entirety of it, so that when the game has to load you back in, it just doesn't have to refresh your percent or anything. But literally nothing I've seen or I've tried has really done anything differently. So it's always just about the same.
Something real quick to know about this auto-scroller is that you can actually you can walk behind the statue here if you kind of like air dodge into him and then like perfect shield him.
You can also do this.
It has a limited degree of success, but you can just walk behind and not get hit by anything. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it doesn't advance anything, but it looks cool.
Let me try, or not.
It's really not that useful back here.
Yeah,
if you shield him and then roll behind twice, you should be able to get it. Or you could just die.
Or you could just die. Yeah, true.
Also, I'm still a little bit sick, so sorry about my voice at everyone.
Don't die.
I'm
bad.
working on it.
Alright. No, the side scroller's over, so that's cool. I'm gonna go right into a Porky fight. So that was Porky in some statue thing, and now this is Porky when he's not in the statue thing. It's pretty great.
You need to play Mother 3.
I do. But I'm too busy playing Subspace.
That's fair. It's close enough.
Alright, that was actually a really good fight.
That was.
So he can do a variety of different moves, but that's the best situation he can do is kind of walk. Down smash does the most damage, so we just kind of spam down smash.
There are a lot of moves that Porky can do that are not good. There's maybe like 2 or 3 that are actually like good RNG, so
yeah.
That was a really good fight.
Whoops. Right. So, and we're just doing some... we used to do movement with Squirrel here a long time ago, but Lucas and using his jump cancel with down B is very useful in a lot of situations. And also he just has better kill power than Squirtle does. And also he loads in better because we used him in the fight prior, so everything's just better when you use Lucas in this section. Oops, that was supposed to be dash tech. Alright. And Curry isn't actually that great. Just letting people know, because
really no.
It doesn't.
Okay against bosses.
Yeah.
Sort of.
It doesn't it doesn't improve your run speed or anything. It literally is just a hitbox out in front of you, which is not useful for the most of the time. So right here, these guys are always pretty easy to kill. And if you just kind of get in a decent rhythm, you can finish that fight pretty quickly. But this split is very dependent on how that Porky fight goes. So, okay, all right, that was spooky. Yeah, so right here we're gonna do a very oh really? All right, I'm not gonna waste my time with that. All right, so right here we're gonna do a very precise fight skip. I have to be right at the corner of that platform, or it will not work, and it'll spawn the fight. End of sentence.
Cutscene.
The cutscene, yeah. But yeah, we want to skip that fight, so. Very, very precise and very... You don't really save that much time getting it because it's just the setup. But it is worth it. And you have a top tier time, like 2:02:42.
If you are a top runner, like ourselves.
Yeah. It really isn't worth it up until you get like 2:04 or something.
Yeah, I never started doing it until I got 2:06, I think.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's not that worth it. You maybe save about 10 to 15
Ooh,
seconds with
that
good,
RNG. Usually he doesn't do his attack there, but he did.
I think you were too far to the left on the platform.
Rippo. Going up is like debatably about the same speed. I've timed it a few times and it's like about the same speed. If you get bad RNG and the Primids attack you, then you have to like react, which makes it a little slower. So going on that bottom plat or that bottom path and getting like the power shields and whatnot is actually a little bit faster than going on the top path. And we're gonna okay. Damage boost into the door. And this stage is extremely broken in many ways, shapes, and forms. Rude. And we'll get into that after this fight. But I'm going to be Marth for this fight just because Marth is really good with fights. Meta Knight, the only thing that is like negative about Meta Knight is that he has some problem killing just your regular enemies that you like come in contact with. Which is really weird, but he just has a problem with killing them. I didn't want that. I didn't want that. And item RNG can be very
Oh yeah, those
sometimes.
trophy stands are not good.
Alright, so what I just did there was I hit the Primid off before I before I just SD'd, because I want to be Meta Knight for this next section. I'm going to be a little quiet here so that I can focus and try and get it. And then I'll explain it afterwards. And play a will save. Okay. Cool. All right, so we got it. Cool. So basically what I did,
Nice.
Skipping the first fight, that first fight is a locked fight, obviously, and then the second fight is a locked fight. So the second fight, after that second fight that I canceled out by jumping back into the first one, after that one, there's no side scroll or anything up until a certain point in the, like, just on the level. So it's not instantly a side scroller, which I think is where the game went wrong exactly for like doing that skip, or like letting that skip be possible, if that makes sense. So triggering that second fight makes the game know that we're in that section of the stage. And then once we trigger the first fight, it cancels out the second one because it locks us into the screen, but it knows that we're already done with the second fight because it cancels out the second fight. So the game goes, okay, you're in the second fight. There's no side scroller yet, but there's no fight you have to be locked in because you're already done with both the first two fights. So the game doesn't side scroll or anything. It starts a side scroller once you hit the certain section of where the side scroller starts in the stage. But we had those primids follow us. I'm going to do this really quick. Okay, cool. So that's another fight skip. But
That was close.
so it starts a side scroller, and we need to have at least one of those primids follow us all the way up until the time I killed them, basically. And once you kill them, the game goes, oh, you killed the enemies from the first fight. Cool, you're done with the first fight. There's no side scroller after the first fight, so we're just gonna let you just run. So then the game's like, wait a second, you're really far into the stage. You're not supposed to be that far into the stage. How'd you do that? And okay, stop it. Alright, cool. So we have a limited amount of time. Also, we have a certain part of the stage that we can't get near, or we just instantly die and it ruins the entire thing.
Yeah, I don't really know why that exists, that death plane.
Yeah, it's really weird and really wonky, and that's rude. This is weird for us so far. But we just have a limited amount of time. If we get the first section done efficiently, so if we kill the pyramids at the right time, because if you kill the pyramids at the wrong time, you also die instantly. It's a lot of stuff can go wrong in that specific segment. So yeah, it's really tricky. And then you have to do all the fight skips in a reasonable amount of time, or you just die. The game just dies, or just kills you. And you have to start, not all the way back, but depending on where you die, you have to start from a while back. Luckily, we did all the fight skips correctly, and that last fight skip that we did saves about a minute. So that stage went from being around 6 minutes to being around almost sub 4. My time is like a 4:16, I think, is my gold. So that stage is like easily like one of the most broken stages in this entire game. And it's very tricky, but very interesting. And very difficult to explain because it's not really... It's just something that some runners have... I think Textrobe, I don't think he found it, but he kind of like made it aware that it was a thing, and we made strats for it. Shout out to Textrobe. But it's just, we know why certain things happen, but we don't know like the reasoning, the frame data, and all that stuff about it. So that's the point of that stage.
Really weird, so
yeah. And luckily, Forest is a very simple stage because I need like an entire stage to explain what just happened in Battle for Fortress. So yeah. So basically, what just happened in Forest? Literally, just Link and Yoshi are in a forest, and they get attacked, and they're like, "I guess we can work together, right?" And Yoshi's like, "I'm just waking up." So
that's the entire lore in the stage. That's
yeah.
correct.
And right here, this actually has pretty good lore. Zero Suit Samus is trying to find her power suit, and she sees Pikachu being like drained of Pikachu's electric energy, and she breaks him out, and then they're being attacked, so they're trying to get out. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
TLDR: characters do stuff, get attacked, join together, fight stuff.
Yeah. And we just have this basic fight. And when we are Pikachu, we do want to do quick attacks. Whenever you seem fit, basically. It's faster than it's running, if you can do it correctly. Mine's a little wonky today. So right here, we're actually supposed to have to go and get another key. And like unlock the room up there and then press the button. But with Pikachu, you can actually do it with both Pikachu and Zero Suit. Pikachu, you just thunder and just press the button that you need to press, and you can just continue onward. Oh my god, I almost died. Zero Suit is a very hard character to use in Subspace. Something that I say quite often is that a lot of top tiers in like competitive play aren't that great in Subspace. The prime example is Olimar. Olimar is like...
Also.
Yeah. Like Olimar, Ice Climbers, Falco isn't that great. He's alright, but not that great. Zero Suit, they're just not that great in Subspace in general. Like, their moves just don't kill or whatever. So it's just kind of whatever. So where's Pikachu? Pikachu's also just really, really good. A lot of his moves can kill. He's fast. Just everything about him is pretty good.
So if you're standing on that gray like line in that platform, you can jab the button, and it works.
Oh really? I just forward tilt.
I usually forward tilt, but I jabbed once and it worked. I think the button just has like a giant hitbox on it.
It's like, hit me. Oops.
Do literally anything and it works.
You air dodge and it works.
Wait.
This room particular is why Pikachu's faster though. Zero Suit cannot do this movement at all, and Pikachu you just do 3 up Bs and you're in the door. No, it's just basic movement. We were actually able to get into this room like before doing all the other stuff we did before, but it's closed off. We can't continue onward. And I've tried a lot of different ways to skip that, like having to go through all the other rooms, but nothing I could find. Sadly enough.
Try it on PAL.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sadly.
Damn.
But it'd be really cool if you could skip like all the beginning stuff and just kind of clip through, but as far as I know, there's nothing like that. Now, if we're talking PM.
PM's a whole other story when it comes to Subspace.
Yeah. I don't know too much, but cameras are great. Its camera mechanics are very useful for speedruns. Whoa.
This split is probably the worst in the game. These fights are very difficult.
Not critical. We basically just want to get them over to that walk off.
That was a good fight.
Also, what was I gonna say? Certain stages on PAL load a little slower than NTSC, or just load a little weird. This fight particular is really weird on PAL. The cutscene loads really weird, and also the whole picking your character like kind of lags out a little bit. So it's really easy to just pick Mario on accident, which in this fight particularly, it's very bad. That fight was whack. What the heck? Holy crap.
That was really good, actually. The jab reset from Mario.
Yeah, thanks, Mario. Mario can like either work with you and just try and get him to that walk off, or you can just hit him in the opposite direction and just be rude. But Mario was really helpful. But yeah, that second fight loads really weird, and also the menu, like once you're able to make an input, it's also delayed, so it's really easy to pick Mario. And we always try to pick a character that we just recently played as, just because it helps with loading. We found out recently that there's a stage later on that if we were picking a certain character like earlier, it saved like 7 seconds, and we're like, oh.
It's literally the easiest thing you can do.
Yeah.
Because you maybe lose like a couple frames from menuing, but you save almost 10 seconds, so...
Yeah.
Just for having a character out.
And those fights went really well, actually.
Yeah, they really did. Sometimes those fights can be like minute 20, sometimes they can be 2 minutes.
Yeah.
It just depends on AI and how you're playing that day.
Yeah. Zelda was like starting to troll, but then I was just like, no, sorry, not today.
Not having it.
What was I saying? But this is actually a stage that so for whatever reason, there's a few stages, I think there's like 2 or 3, where the difficulty actually doesn't really affect the side-scrolling speed as much as it normally would. And this stage is one of them, so it's like really weird. It's a little bit faster, I think, but it's not much faster. So, and also, this stage would be a little bit different if we saved Peach over Zelda, because we would have been playing as Link and Yoshi instead of Mario and Pit, which is also slower. So that's also why we want to save Zelda, because what happens in the story is the person that gets saved does eventually get captured anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then they get turned into a Shadow character. So that we fought Shadow Zelda, and then Link and Yoshi saw us killing Zelda, quote unquote Zelda, and they get mad, and that's why we fought them. But now they're like, oh, it was just a Shadow. We're a team now. That's basically what happens. And this stage, or this room, isn't really on a cycle. It's just once you hit a certain trigger on the stage, which is why I did that up B, it starts moving these platforms. So you can't really like get there at a certain speed and make it. It just starts at a certain spot. It's always the same.
Yeah, it's around midway up that that little like vertical part.
Yeah.
You can hear them start moving, and then that's it.
Yeah. Ah. Alright, whatever. That's still good. Alright.
I still don't understand why Lakeshore has that little tunnel at the end.
To make it longer.
Make it exactly like 6 seconds longer.
Yeah. So this stage has another fight skip. It's right at the beginning. It was one of the first fight skips that was implemented in my runs, at least. I didn't start doing fight skips and stuff like that until I got like a 216. This game has gotten a lot optimized over the past like year. But yeah, we just jumped over a fight. It's a very, very, very easy fight skip. So pretty simple stuff. And right here, these enemies actually have hitboxes that reach a lot higher up, which is showed right there. But if you air dodge, you can just go right through the hitbox. I just did the air dodge too early right there. Run. All right. So this fire is on a cycle, actually. So you do have to kind of hurry a little bit here. If you can hit, just like that, if you hit the ceiling on your second jump, you'll still be able to hit the button, because Lucas's hitbox for up air is really big. It saves us a little bit of time. You just get instantly sent downward.
Lucas has a big old head.
He has a big dome. Alright, that was good. It's really, really good if you were to get a Mega Mushroom in that fight. Or that can just happen. Alright, sick.
That works. That first fight that he did with all the forward smashes, the Primate can hit you, and if that happens, you can't really like get the good fight.
Yeah.
So, happens not too commonly, but when it does, it's really annoying.
If anybody likes baseball, you'd like this stage. Alright, so yeah, all those fights have like a strategy, I guess you could say. Because sometimes you kind of just have to just go ham and kill stuff. But all those fights are very simple and have a easy way to go about it. So.
Yeah. Majority of the fights in this game have like faster strats.
So more lore information. So right here, the reason Lucas is with Pokemon Trainer, not Ness, is because Ness and Lucas, when they're in their little section, after the Porky fight, Wario shows up and he's like, I'm going to try and kill you. I'm a bad guy. And Ness just is like super freaking cool and just keeps like dodging all the attacks, and Wario goes for Lucas. And Lucas is just not paying attention and being a little baby. And is about to get hit, so Ness pushes him out of the way and gets captured. So Lucas has a vendetta against Wario, and that's why we go Lucas, so that he can get his anger out. Also, that we can just back throw and just kill him. There's another strat that used to be used there, where you just side B him into the wall there, and
okay, I still use it.
Mother of... What the heck? The heck? Okay. Okay, so that fight, the cave has really dumb fights, and that fight is like one of the worst fights, honestly. Partially because paratroopers are very annoying. If you don't kill them one hit, they usually respawn. So you have to be very precise with killing them. I'm not dying here. Okay. Yeah, that was weird, but it's okay. But yeah, so after Ness is taken, whoops, Lucas is kind of just walking on his own, and then meets up with Pokemon Trainer. And Pokemon Trainer's on a quest of collecting all the starters. So
all 3 Pokemon.
All 3 of them.
He even has cards with their faces on it.
Just
so he knows where they are.
So him and Lucas are trying to find Ivysaur and Charizard. And Lucas just doesn't want to be left alone, so he's tagging along with him. And it's really good RNG to get if you get an item that you can throw down, because instead of having to wait for that Gliar to crawl up the stage, you can just throw it down when he spawns. Saves a little bit of time, but it's not that big of a deal. And as you can see, there's like a running trend here. Yoshi is really good in Subspace. His movement's really good. He has good horizontal and vertical movement. He kills enemies really efficiently and easily. So. Oops. Alright, and that's the end of the stage. Pretty simple stuff. And right here, we're actually going to be using Pokemon Trainer a little bit. So there is a very, very precise cycle that we're going to try and get here. I'm going to be actually a little quiet for a second.
Yeah,
try and get
this is pretty difficult to get.
Cool. All right. So. And yeah, we're good. All right. So the reason we go Squirtle is so that we can make that cycle. You can make that cycle with Lucas, but it's very, very, very difficult to make it with Lucas. And Squirtle is just so much easier that it's just, just do it with Squirtle. That was a little risky, but we're good. All right,
yeah,
cool.
That ledge isn't grabbable, so if you missed that, you're dead.
Yeah, for whatever dumb reason, they made that ledge not grabbable. So like,
there are a lot of ledges that should be grabbable that aren't,
and ledges that shouldn't be grabbable that are.
Right. There's one in research too that is not, that really should be.
Which one?
In the 3 moving blocks, the left ledge is not grabbable, but the right one is.
3 moving blocks.
Like when you go under the second block and then go up to the right ledge, the left ledge is not grabbable.
Sick.
Yep.
Actually,
I've gone to it trying to like save it, and then I just died.
Rip.
Fun. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is this stage is actually very, very, very dependable on how your fights go. That first section is important. It saves like 10, I think, seconds if you get the quick cycle. But after this room that we're in, there's fights and then there's another fight. There's 3 fights and then there's a CPU fight. And they can all go kind of bad, and they have to go good for this split to go well.
Yeah. Especially the last fight. Last fight's very difficult.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Just gonna let this go down here. And like I said earlier, going into doors or some stuff of that nature makes side scrollers stop or just make it a little bit faster. So going into that door and exiting it is actually a little bit faster than waiting for the side scroller to end. So that's what we do there. That's why we went into that door.
Yep, and that's used twice in the run total.
Alright, so we're going to hope that these fights go well.
The strats for these fights are fairly consistent, but sometimes they just don't go as planned.
Cool. Alright, first strat's down. This, the second and third one are the ones I have the most issue with.
Same. Third one is my worst fight.
That was fine. I just don't know this strat here, so I just do this.
You need to up E, or you need to up smash fairly late.
It's late. I'm dumb.
Yeah. You need to release it when the enemies hit the ground.
Oh, okay.
That's when they become vulnerable. Yeah.
Learning things in a marathon run. I wish I was
Right.
smart. But that
took me way too long to learn that.
That actually went pretty well. So.
Yeah, those are still good though. So this whole area, if you actually have a hothead, like those fireballs, you can just set it loose and it does the entire thing for you.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it works on easy, I think, only because some of them are, it gets pretty far ahead of you.
Yeah.
I've gotten that once and it's really cool.
I think I've also got that like about once. It's just like you're just running. There's no stopping. It's great.
2 seconds. Okay. Running the target, observing the current position, we'll see if I can.
Okay.
Is there anything else?
So anyway.
This fight's stupid.
Up throw. So basically, we're just gonna try and get them off stage, and then that. Cool. All right. So anyway, Lucas has really good spiking tools. It's just a little precise. His back air is better than his down air, but his down air has like a semi-spike. But if you can get the sweet spot of his back air, it just sends him flying downwards. So you basically just want to get some damage on him so that he stays, off stage, and then get that sweet spot. And that went well. And my roommate's going to target, so lit.
Important.
Important. Wow.
So the first wild stage is kind of just auto-scrollers broken up by a couple fights and then a little bit of platforming, so there's not a horrible amount to do here.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a skip that we'll be doing in a second.
Oh yeah, mountain clip?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah.
We'll explain that when we get to it.
Woo! Okay, so there was a runner by the name of Doby1. He found out that you can just clip into this mountain that we're coming up to. However, it's very difficult. And doesn't save enough time for it to be really worth it to go for it a bunch of times. I will try.
Attempt it for the fans.
Almost got it. Fuck. Oh, shit.
Nice.
All right. Anyway, so basically, you just have to get perfect timing on your up B, and you can clip into the mountain, and you don't have to go all the way up and do a fight skip because that's what we just did there. We just skipped a fight. It saves about like 15 to 20 seconds, I think, if you get it like first try for a second try. But it's rough. It's hard to set up, and there isn't.
We still don't know exactly why it works. So
Yeah.
It's just kind of like do this until it works, and then hope for the best. So yeah, it's not used in runs at all yet.
All right. And right, just like that, using Meta Knight's Glide. Meta Knight's Glide is a little easier to control than Pit's. But yeah, using the glide just swings through the entire stage, or that just room up until we get to the side scroller. It makes it a lot easier.
Yeah. It's easier to use because Shuttle Loop gives Meta Knight more momentum than Pit gets.
Yeah.
So you just get more speed anyways, which is a lot more comfortable to control.
Yeah. And with Pit, you have to start off like really high up.
Right. Because you gotta let gravity do the work.
LOL gravity.
Gravity and subspace. So, we have a little bit of time for me to explain that. So, subspace, kind of treats all characters as like normal. They all have normalized speeds, and so faster characters are a little slower characters a little faster. There are still faster characters than others, but not by a whole lot. Also, gravity is increased, and that means fall speed is increased, which kind of makes for a different play than if you are kind of just used for like regular brawl controls.
Yeah. Someone that I like. Oh shoot! I picked up a CD on accident. Rip.
Nice.
So
CD
sometimes.
about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Later on.
I'm not. It's obviously there for all characters, but a character that I notice it like the most from is Kirby. Kirby's vertical speed is so bad in Subspace just because of the neutralization of characters. It sucks.
If you have a metal box with Kirby, you cannot gain height.
Yeah, it's
at all.
very bad.
Yep.
And that's the longest split in the stage, so or in the run, so that's great.
That is a very difficult fight. Very lucky you got those 7 rock smashes.
And this is the PAL exclusive skip here, so let's see how this goes. I'll explain it after I get it.
Easy.
Alright, so that fight skip is there in NTSC. You can skip that fight, but it does the same thing right here it does in PAL. So it locks the screen because it's supposed to be an auto-scroller. So it locks the screen. But on PAL, you don't...
PAL, you kind of just get thrown off to the right.
Yeah. So,
entire auto-scroller.
On NTSC, if you were to try and do that same exact movement, it's very simple stuff. Nothing intricate about it at all. If you were to do it on TSC, you warp back to the start of the stage before the fight that we just skipped. And just for whatever reason, on PAL, it spawns you after the side-scroller, after the second fight of the stage. So we skip 2 fights and an auto-scroller, saving, again, like a minute 20 to a minute and a half, which is extremely broken. It makes no sense, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's, really it's interesting because PAL got released after NTSC, so you'd think that bugs would be fixed, but another one was introduced.
Yeah, no. So like all the skips that work on NTSC work on PAL, and then PAL skip works.
Except that one, yeah.
So
that other gliding that he just did was also a fight skip. That one's very easy to do.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say that.
You
so yeah,
up B from the ground and then go to the right.
That stage is literally just all skipping stuff. It went from a 2, I think my gold there was like 255 or something like that.
Yeah, something about
and
that.
now it's 136. So
yep,
it's pretty crazy.
So that easy stage goes into one of the most difficult stages in the game, which is Swamp.
Yeah.
It's long, movement, fairly heavy, and it's just it's good to see done well. So
I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna be a little quiet during this, so I can focus.
First room kind of just gets you introduced to wind physics.
That was stupid. Alright. So
right.
That that bullet bill has like never followed me before, but it's okay.
Yeah, I've never gotten hit by bullet bill there.
Well, it's fine. I am going to SD here, though.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
So, yeah, the stage looks really cool when done correctly. That was a little bit about RNG. I could have probably worked with it a little bit more, but I've never had that bullet bill follow me before, so it was a little weird. Alright, so we're going to be careful here. Cool. So there's 2 different door entries that we're going to do here to speed up this side-scroller. It's a little easier with Fox, just because Fox has better horizontal and vertical movement than Diddy does. We also want to be Fox because we're going to be Fox for this fight that's coming up here. So we got the first one pretty quickly. Should be good here. Cool. So this fight can go very, 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 very badly.
Or it can go very, very, very good. So it's really only one extreme or the other.
All right, and that's the fight. So
nice.
So luckily for me, he just kind of worked with me and just ran, followed me, and just didn't attack or anything. If he attacks me, I'm basically dead. He's not just like a regular mega or anything. He's gigantic and does ridiculous amount of knockback and damage. So it can go very, very poorly. But that went really well. So
yeah, that was good. If items spawn, it's extremely bad because items do more knockback, and
Yeah.
gigantic Diddy with items is horrible. So
Yeah.
it's very easy to lose a good run to it. I think like all of us have so far.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was really good. You just ran right to you and you grabbed him. This spring room is really weird, but looks really cool when it's done properly. That was really good.
Yeah, that went perfectly.
And then you can sometimes get a damage boost on those spikes there, but it's weird. You can damage boost into side B to get onto another spring.
So this fight that's coming up right here is actually, I have more issues with it than Diddy. At least recently.
Oh, this
Used to be
fight's
the
really
other way
easy.
around. I like always
Yeah.
mess this fight up, so hold on a second.
You just have smash a lot.
Just like that, dude. Oh. Yeah. So like I said, if you don't kill a Koopa in one hit, it'll respawn. And I did kill 2 of them, so they had to respawn.
Yeah,
Really dumb.
So long as their shell is on stage still, the Koopa is not considered dead. So you need to get rid of the shell, and if you wait long enough, it'll just come out of its shell and you need to like kill it again.
It's quite annoying. This still went all right.
Yeah, it was still pretty good though.
All right. And now on to the next hard stage.
The next difficult stage, Research Facility 2.
All right. I'm also gonna
I don't
try
think
and
this one's
focus on-
as hard as Swamp, but it's still pretty difficult, especially the midsection.
Ah. Well, it's not supposed to be F smash. Alright. Supposed to dash attack those guys, but inputs.
You can F tilt the first one as well. It works.
Stop F smashing, please. This is like the only good instance of where Zero Suit's actually useful, though. Her run speed is good, and the main reason we use her is because of this right here. We're gonna do.
There are a lot of characters where it's like they're used for this one strat that we do, and that's it.
Yeah.
Coming up again later.
So instead of having to go down that ladder and take all that time, if you just jump off the ladder and down air, you just zoom right down there. So saves a few seconds. It's pretty great. But we're done with using
Ladders
Zero
are
Suit.
extremely slow.
Uh-oh. Fuck. Oh, we're good.
This fight's also pretty difficult. What he's gonna try and do is down smash them, and they'll pop them up, and then Thunder also kind of pops them up as well. So it's just a really easy way to send them to the blast zone.
Yeah. That kind of went a little poorly, but it's all right.
At least the hammer broke. If it
Yeah.
didn't break, you'd be in a lot more trouble.
Yeah. For whatever reason, the hammer breaks quite often in Subspace. So
Yeah.
picking up hammer isn't exactly the best thing to do. It can be useful, but it breaks a lot, so you're risking something.
Yeah, it's really risky. Golden hammers are usually like good. Sometimes they're the squeaky ones, but for the most part, they're pretty okay. This room here is probably one of the hardest sections for at least like a newer runner, I would say.
Yeah.
A lot of things can go wrong, and you need Samus for this section. Samus is really her only purpose in this game, or this run, is to die, so that's
Yeah.
what we're gonna do here.
She just sets up for Pikachu. So what we're doing right here is we're actually skipping a fight at the top. That's not like on the intended route of doing this. We're gonna Thunder and press a button, and then side B onto a platform that'll lead us right to the door that we need to go to, instead of having to do a whole bunch of movement on different platforms. And right here is also something difficult.
Wow, this is easy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. this is a sequence break here. You're not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
What you're supposed to do is go through that teleport pad on the bottom right and go through this whole section, come out in this room, or that the room with the moving platform, and then hit the button and go back. But we can just go to the top one here and then skip that whole section.
Yeah, it's a pretty. It looks really crisp when you get it first try because you don't have to kill all the glices. But
yeah, you can get through those two together if you're timing it correctly. This is good RNG right off the bat for Ridley. I think like all of Ridley's moves except one send him just elsewhere, not on the stage. So,
all right,
that was a good fight.
So now we get a break from hard stages for one solid 2 minutes, and then we're gonna go back to another hard stage. So we're just gonna chill for a second. Just gonna run with Falcon. So Falcon comes in and kills a bunch of Pikmin, and then Olimar teams with him. So that's the lore here.
Yep. So like I mentioned earlier, Falcon is still fast, but he's definitely not as fast as he would be in regular Brawl.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty basic stage. She's easy movement. Falcon is another really good character for Subspace. Whoa.
Despite being bottom 3 in the game, he's probably A tier in Subspace. So we're gonna turn into our younger selves and just spam down B in this fight.
Yep.
Because it works.
No. No, he jumped. Oh, okay, cool.
That
Alright.
works.
That was mediocre,
Also,
but we're good.
I don't know if you mentioned this earlier, but the metal pyramids, they do reflect any projectiles, so
Yeah,
that's
don't throw
something to
stuff
be
at
aware
him.
of. Yeah.
So another hard stage. I'm gonna be quiet for a second.
Yeah, this stage looks really cool, so.
Alright, cool. So that's early cycle.
Yeah, doing that first section properly is very difficult.
You have a little bit of leeway time. Like I kind of messed up a little bit in the beginning, but you do have a little bit of leeway because you have to wait for that. If you get there like super early, you have to wait for the cannon to move just a little bit to the left. So you have a tiny bit of leeway, but if you mess up just like a second more, it's you can't make that cycle. But yeah, so up B is pretty great. That's the first difficult part. So interesting thing about this stage, the stage is so fast on intense because a majority of it is an auto-scroller. It's actually faster to like exit out and do the stage. So in order to exit out and do this on a different difficulty, you have to actually game over in the stage and then game over in the stage and then re-enter it. And once you re-enter it through the map, you can pick which difficulty you do it on, and it only changes the difficulty in that stage. So once you like beat the stage, you're not always in intense or whatever difficulty. It goes back to easy. So it's actually faster. It's like 15 to 20 seconds faster, I want to say, if you play perfectly. If you play perfectly. Game over at the very beginning, and then do the stage on intense. It's very, I mean, it's not allowed because we do this on easy, but it's very risky, very difficult, but it's really cool because you just do it on intense. But a lot of stuff can go wrong because there's a CPU fight that's on intense. Those are always rough. There's still those fights that we have to do. There's like enemy fights in general.
Yeah, it's high risk, like mid reward. So
yeah,
it's not bad, but
I'd say low reward.
Yeah, pretty much. Because you can lose upwards of a minute plus if you die with Meta Knight.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a risky strat. I messed up.
I believe Wilds 2 would be better without Pal Skip on Intense as well.
Usually we want to hit the Glyers, or the Glyces in. Okay. Glyces into each other, but I got a Fireball on accident, so we're just going to go with it. Or a Hothead, that's what it's called.
They're Hotheads, yeah. I know the Spike Balls have a name too, I just don't remember what it is.
This is sloppy. Alright.
So you can pick Lucario for this fight, but Lucario is probably one of the worst characters in single-player Smash as a whole, so...
Yeah, he's pretty bad. Oh, wow. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, this fight is really weird.
This fight can go really well, or he can just troll, but the strat is just forward air him, and then he'll get knocked back towards the walk-off, and then you just down air twice. You just have to work with ice physics, and it can be kind of bad.
Yeah.
But we're good. We recovered it. And this is just a fight.
Yeah. This entire stage is just one frozen fight. And picking Yoshi because Yoshi's good.
I don't know how that Armite didn't die.
This fight's kind of separated into waves. The first one's just the regulars, and then it gets broken up by giant Primids, and there's fires, and it's weird.
Yeah, that was dumb. He didn't walk over to me. Usually they'll come for you, but that did not happen.
And there's a whole section with these Glyers, and it's really annoying because you gotta wait for them to come up, and then
I tried to. I don't know.
Oh my god.
That was still fine. Alright.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. When those Glyers do go off stage, they do die, but it takes longer than actually killing them.
Yeah. That fight was pretty alright.
Yeah. These the giant Primids drop Mega Mushrooms very, very often, which is really helpful, especially
it makes
with Yoshi.
sense.
Yeah. They drop minis sometimes.
Yeah, there's like hat troll.
So we actually just skipped the only voice line in Subspace. It's Snake saying, "Kept you waiting, huh?"
Yeah. It's a good cutscene.
Important.
A good category for this game is cutscene %.
Agree. About an hour ago, you got like teased with a cutscene of just a box, which is maybe possibly Snake's box, and then it just fades or just cuts. So you're like, "What's that box?" Then you find out an hour later that it's actually Snake.
Yeah.
Wow. And then he gets used once, and then like never again. He's used twice in the run. But the part that was just done. Snake's best form movement is dash attack, so that's why dash attack was used that whole section there.
You could also use Dacus, which means dash attack cancel up smash, which is also a really good option for movement. I don't like the setup, so I'm just gonna take it slow. So you could dash attack cancel up smash, which is useful.
Why was that spinner not moving?
I don't know. That's why I just didn't update.
I've never seen that. It usually rotates around the platform, but it was just frozen on the bottom. That was strange. But anyways, yeah, Dacus.
We'll see Dacus later on. I'm gonna use it in a fight. We're gonna use Snake in.
So for this fight, we're kind of mainly just trying to get these Beam Sword Primids off the stage instead of killing them. They have more health than regular Primids, which is really annoying. So getting them off stage just kills them instantly without having to hit them a couple times.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't work as well, but...
And like I said earlier, Meta Knight has a problem with killing certain enemies.
Right.
There's like some that he can kill really well, like the I can't think of their names, but they're two out of the 3 enemies that we killed in that fight. He's pretty good at killing with. It's just the Primids, which there's more of. So
you can one-shot an auto lance within there.
Yeah.
You're lucky.
If you get all the hitboxes.
Yeah. So this section you just need to kill 5 enemies, and that's it.
It's kind of like the first section of this room where we had to kill all the so I didn't even like mention it, but we had to kill those portals that I was killing, and that made us be able to get to that last room or get into that fight room. We just have to kill these enemies to get into this door, and killing that metal primate was found by Zoroark. Shouts to Zoroark. He was just like, you can down smash through the wall, and we were like, oh. So instead of having to go all the way around,
going it takes about 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And you can the first like the normal Primin, you can hit that into the spinner enemy, so you get 2 kills at once.
It used to be more useful than it is now, but
yeah, that was a really good fight there.
Yeah, they control really hard.
Yeah, but bunching them up together and just down smashing them is the best thing to do. It's just really hard to actually get them together. And because we're playing on easy, the enemies don't really tech, which is why the PK Fire strat that was explained a while ago against Wario works, because Wario doesn't tech.
Yeah.
So you could just keep down smashing these 2 enemies here and they just die. Same with Lucario. So now we get outside platforming with opposing wind.
Yeah, it's fun.
Not fun at all, no. This whole section is really annoying.
It's just like tedious and like just unnecessary, but it's fun. Ooh, what is this? I've never had this happen. Let's see. I guess that works.
I think I might have had that like once. It doesn't really help that much.
Nah, it doesn't. I saved like a second.
Mega Mushrooms are good because you go faster, but the animation into growing and shrinking at the end takes a while, so it's good in the right context. I know that was mentioned a while ago, just for items in general.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if you sweet spot near those puppets, they die right away.
Yeah, that's a thing that you do. Shouts to SWC19.
Is that something I found in this game?
I didn't know about it. I saw you do it, and I was like, what?
Yeah, because I know you up smashed a while,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wait, if you just do Nair, it works.
Yeah.
But you need to hit the sweet spot.
Yeah, but it's very easy. You just like the middle.
Oh, yeah. You just press the A button on them.
Okay. That was close.
Nice.
That room is very, it can actually be like really cool. I like that room a lot. I like the room after the, I can't think of the big enemy's name, but after that spinning enemy with the scythes on it. Yeah, the group. That stage can go like, it's like really cool when you get that stage like super fast.
Yeah. My favorite room here is the one where you run to the right.
Yeah, same.
Nice save.
Thanks. So you have to actually like menu to go back to the map, because it'll automatically have you at save. So I didn't get Dacus. I'm a fraud. So we pick Snake here because whenever he like hit you away or whatever, you want Dacus back because it's really good movement and it also does damage to him. And then his forward tilt is very good with damage. There we go.
Yeah. We used to use Sheik here and up smash, but Snake is a bit better.
Alright, that was fine.
Optimally, in any boss fight, you would want to get a cracker launcher, which is like the bazooka. That's the fastest DPS you can do against the boss, but
Yeah.
it's fairly rare, and it's really only good if you get it towards like the beginning of a fight.
Yeah. And it doesn't exactly work on. It doesn't work on Rayquaza because Rayquaza is like
work on Rayquaza, yeah,
the weirdest boss ever.
The only exception. It's a very, very strange boss, and it's just not good.
Like
so
sorry, go on. No, you're good. No, you're good. Go.
Okay. In this stage, you can pick either Samus or Pikachu. They're both around the same time.
Yeah, it's a minute stage, so.
That's all I was gonna say.
But the theory that I've come down to with Rayquaza fights is like it's specially defensive. Like
that is partially true. There is a factor of like resistances to types of moves in this game on enemies. I don't really think it's explained anywhere except in like the Prima guide or like online or something. So like certain enemies are like weak to slash attacks or like swords, and then some are resistant to like fire or something.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
I know the Pokemon like Squirtle, electric type moves and grass type moves do more damage to them.
Yeah, it's really not that relevant here, but it is a thing. I believe that's why the beam primates don't die in one hit to Meta Knight because they're partially resistant to swords.
That's so weird.
I actually just thought of that now, but it definitely makes sense.
It does make sense.
So that's probably why. But yeah, there is some sort of like type resistiveness in this game. Because each move does have a type.
No! I just want to kill you. I just needed the jab and the trophy stand was too close. Alright, so this is another very difficult stage. A lot of stuff can go wrong.
It's probably the hardest full stage.
Yeah.
Just because it's the longest full stage. It's about 7 minutes long.
Alright.
Yeah, there's way too many factors here that can just mess you up. You can die in basically every part of the stage.
Yeah. I'm gonna be a little quiet during the beginning of this, just so that I can try and focus just to get a decent going of this. Because the beginning part of this stage is what makes, is what time save is. So.
The second half is very easy, but the first half is just really difficult.
Yeah. And this stage is what I was referring to with, we just recently found. So in the last section of this stage, there's the boss fight. And for that boss fight, we actually used Donkey Kong. He just has better damage output. And it's actually, I never thought of it. But there's a second character selection screen right before we start the last section. I almost died.
That damage boost is really weird.
But there's so we can reselect characters. So we want to be Captain Falcon, obviously. Falcon's really, really good. But if we SD and go into Donkey Kong before the Meta Ridley fight, the selection of the characters for the Meta Ridley fight is a lot faster, and again, it saves like 7 seconds for some reason. It's really dumb.
Yeah, you were kind of just like, hey, what if this works? And I'm like, I can try it, I guess.
And he golded or something.
A lot faster.
Yeah.
I'm like, hang on, that's a whole lot faster. And then I checked it, yeah, it's about 7 to 10 seconds.
That's great. Alright.
This fight is both fun and really hard. These birds are just really satisfying to hit. and when they stick in the ground and they're like kind of like bent over, you can grab them and throw them as an item.
Yeah.
Which is not useful at all, because when you throw them like to the right, they go at like an angle upright, so it's just not good.
Oh, okay.
We're good, we're good. Blast boxes are awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, when these enemies are growing, they are invincible, so you just gotta wait.
I picked up the wrong enemy, or wrong item. No.
Screw attack.
Dang.
Yeah. These tanks, if you hit them fast enough, you can quick kill them. Like, kind of like that. I mean, not that easily, but usually what we do is just up air them when they're exposed.
Yeah.
A couple times.
Yeah, so right there we picked Donkey Kong after Falcon, just so that we can save a few seconds at the end of the split. Yeah, that fight was a little sloppy, but it's all good.
As long as you didn't die.
Yeah, I didn't die. They're also just kind of like not working with me because again, it's RNG whether they attack, they just kind of stand there. If they run towards you, just all kinds of stuff. A lot goes into it, and you just have to work with the RNG that's given to you.
Yeah.
It also depends on how quickly you kill them, because if you kill them quickly and they disappear quickly, then more enemies will spawn faster. So there's just a lot that goes into the fights other than just like killing them as fast as possible. You want to try and make them disappear sooner and all that other stuff.
Someone in chat looked up Rayquaza's like resistiveness. Rayquaza takes 1.0 damage from ice, and apparently that's it.
Sick.
So
it's quad
ice
weak.
timers are the new meta against Rayquaza now. Obviously.
Rock Smash will always do a good amount of damage.
Yeah, Rock Smash just does a lot of damage in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe all the stuff is on, I want to say Smash Wiki.
Ooh, that was
or
not.
some similar resource.
It was early. Very good. Those falling sections can be kind of tricky, but they're good. We're gonna take this SD.
Oh no, you died. Terrible.
I guess I have to be Donkey Kong.
Darn. Haven't you heard DK's really bad at movement? You should have gotten that CD. Lose more time.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, like I mentioned earlier, CDs lose about 2 seconds, and we'll see that in Maze.
Yeah.
So yeah, having been DK here, picking DK right now, loads very, very quickly into the fight. Which is really nice.
Ooh.
There
Sick.
you go. So, launchers are stupid good.
Yeah. That was a really good representation of how good the launchers can be. I keep hitting save, dude.
That's 3. You should have donated per accidental save.
I should have, but I'm also broke.
Oops.
Oof.
So I don't know if you mentioned this, but there is one instance in all of this run where we get the option to pick Meta Knight and don't.
Correct.
That is that's the fight in Battlefield Fortress.
Yep.
Every other time Meta Knight is there, we pick him.
Literally every other time.
Yep. So
even though he's a top tier, he's also good in Subspace. Almost died.
it's actually the only top tier that's still good in Subspace.
You're right. Well, Pikachu's Pikachu's pretty top tier.
Pikachu's high mid, I think. I don't even know the Brawl tier list, honestly.
Pikachu, I think, is 10 or something like that. Like 7 to 10, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so that's not bad. Yeah, Diddy is high tier, and Diddy's pretty okay.
Diddy's alright. Nothing
It's
special.
not great, but it doesn't suck at least, like Olimar and Ices
Yeah.
and Snake. So,
So, remember the gliding thing? I don't, but we're gonna do it.
oh, okay. What's gliding?
I don't know. All right, so what we just did there was that we just glided over 3 different fights. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard skip to do because it's very easy to die, but it's really nice, and you
Yeah.
save a lot of time with it because all those fights are really long.
It's pretty nifty.
So we're picking Ness here because he's the best worst character. All 3 of these characters are pretty bad. This is decent at least. Like
His movement isn't bad.
yeah,
For this
he has really good
particular
vertical movement.
stage. Ooh,
Yeah.
bad RNG.
Specifically here.
And again, it's RNG. What the enemy throws at you. So I'll try. I'll go for it.
All right.
All right, cool.
Nice.
That's an unnecessary time save, really. I mean,
I don't even know how much time that saves. Like,
I don't either.
like 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but it's cool.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it works. Like you can do it on either side, but it works a lot easier on the right side.
Maybe it's probably just how you do PK Thunder.
Maybe. I'm just bad. But
Same.
for me, it's a lot
can't
easier on
even-
that side.
I can't even PK Thunder in the right direction. It's okay.
Oh yeah, because of the thing.
Because I'm bad.
But yeah, so I didn't even like mention anything. So right now, all the characters that we're saving right now are the people that we're gonna be able to use in Subspace. So we're only saving the amount that we need.
These are only relevant characters.
And
There's
like
only
we're
4 of them
yeah. Well, there's only 2 that are relevant, but
on this stage. Yeah.
we save a few more just so that menuing is a little easier for us.
Mm-hmm. So we either save DK and Marth or Falcon and Marth. Just depends on what you want to do.
And just like in the first stage of this run, you just neutral B
I wish
SD.
this was Subspace 2, so you can say we started with it, now we're ending with it.
Right?
But no, there's one more stage, so it sucks.
If we're starting with it and we're almost ending with it. So yeah, there's 2 different sections of getting these characters. In terms of the lore, so what happened was we all met up, and that's what Entrance to Subspace was. And then in that cutscene, everyone dies. And the reason that we were Ness, Luigi, and DDD was DDD throughout this story mode was taking just like random trophies. He actually killed Luigi, but like still like took him and kind of
destroyed Luigi.
yeah. But so they took he took Luigi and he took Ness from Wario. He also took Peach, but Peach got like saved or something like that from someone else.
He got stolen by Bowser.
Yeah. So the reason that we were Ness, Luigi, and DDD was DDD gave them this special amulet, which for whatever reason brought them back to life when everyone else died. And then Luigi and Ness were just brought back, and they were like, "What the heck? What happened?" And then they noticed that the amulet had the face of DDD on it, so they were just like, "Well, I guess he's a good guy," and then revived him. So then that's the group. And then the reason that Kirby is alive is the amulet that was on Peach fell off of Peach, and in one of the cutscenes, you see Kirby just kind of look at it, and in the next cutscene, it shows that he ate it, and when he ate it, it brought him back to life when he died. So
This game advocates eating things you find on the ground. It'll
Yeah.
save you one day. So Try this at home, kids.
Do it.
This fight's weird because there's always like one more Primid.
Yeah, it's annoying.
I call this fight the but wait, there's more fight.
But wait, there's more. That's also cave. Like this in cave.
Yeah. Cave is like, all right, think I'm done, but I know one more's gonna spawn.
And this is another stage where on New Game Plus you can skip this last fight, but we don't have the ability to do so because all we have is Kirby.
Kirby.
Whoa, they just both jumped over. They usually don't do that, but that's fine.
That works.
Oh, crap. I need you to die.
These things are super resistant.
Alright, so, and that is the end of the Subspace section, so now we're going to get into the Great Maze. The Great Maze is just
Sucks.
a combination of all that we just went to, all the stages and everything in just one big map. And the point of it is to get to Taboo. In order to get to Taboo, we have to beat all the shadow characters and all the bosses. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of fights. It's a very difficult stage of the run. For me personally, this is where my where I struggle more so in the run.
Is this where I can take over the run from here?
Yeah, you can go ahead and talk about
just grab your
whatever.
controller.
Yeah.
So all the shadow characters, we're gonna be fighting every character in the game except for 3 because those are not in Subspace at all, and you're supposed to get them after Subspace. That's Toon Link, Wolf, and Jigglypuff. So we're not gonna see them at all, but every other character in the game we're gonna fight. So start off with Pit. This whole room is useless, so we're just gonna run back through the door.
Ooh. All right.
Gliding is better.
Yeah, it saves quite a few seconds to glide through the rest of that.
Yeah, gliding is faster than running and jumping, so it's good. Most of these fights have specific strats that we do to kill them faster. Kind of depends on what you want to do. For the Kirby fight, you can do that, what Ducky did. I usually down smash Kirby when he jumps at me and just up B into him. For almost all these fights, we're going to be utilizing Shuttle Loop because that has a tremendous amount of knockback. And with only like a little bit of damage, it will kill the enemy. And a lot of moves combo into it. So it's very easy to just kill all these enemies, especially on easy when they die so fast. For the most part,
Sorry, go on. You keep going.
For the most part, we're going to be using dash attack or neutral air or a couple other moves for the combos.
There are some characters that die a little easier than others. Whoa. For instance, Rob is like the easiest person to kill. You actually don't have to do any damage to Rob prior to up-being. You just have to up-beat him and he'll die on basically any part of the stage. But characters like Yoshi, which we're about to go up to, Yoshi can troll quite a bit. There's certain instances of how they're difficult. Either their AI is just smarter, or they just survive longer for whatever reason. So it's just, you have to kind of work around with that.
Too.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, a lot of the heavy characters die faster.
Yeah.
I have no idea why, but Lucario, DDD, Rob all die very quickly.
Bowser's pretty easy too.
Yeah, Bowser is...
That was so weird.
Also there.
What is this?
So usually for Yoshi,
Oh, shoot.
that did not happen at all, but usually Yoshi double jumps, and we just shuttle loop him out of the double jump, and because he used his jump, he can't jump again, so he kind of just floats to his death. But didn't do that here, just approached with a neutral air, so this fight's a lot weirder.
Yeah, whenever they do something that you don't usually do, it's kind of weird to react to.
Suddenly improv, yeah. Huh, that's a enemy I haven't seen in a while.
The shell pod.
Yeah. If you go high enough, it doesn't spawn. I have a lot of trouble with the Diddy fight.
I have a pretty consistent method of doing
the
that.
stage
Diddy
is
fight.
really, really weird. I should probably just start doing that.
Yeah, it's pretty consistent. He usually jumps at the beginning.
Yeah.
So we're going into this door right now to be able to warp back to it because there's certain instances where you have to just backtrack. And instead of backtracking,
you gotta keep them in suspense and then pretend to reset later.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You gotta not explain the door. So
everything I just said is
just
wrong.
heard.
Nice.
We just entered that door because we like opening doors.
Because this is actually 100% run.
Wait. Oh no.
I'm just doing really bad. He usually actually does a lot of like he usually just likes to run around and just troll.
Yeah.
That went really, really well.
Same with Snake. They kind of just go everywhere except the blast zone. Olimar is also an awkward fight.
All right, and I'm done with this run. So.
GG, we're done. We're just gonna reset. We're just gonna take a picture first, then reset. So this is where the CD loses time. You need to acknowledge that you got it.
All right, so the reason we did that is there's a Duon fight. Duon's one of the bosses, and he can troll quite hard. And a big deal about this run is not healing as much as possible, because healing, wastes a bunch of time. So this fight can do a lot of damage to you, and it just takes a while. And Charizard being as OP as Rock Smash is, it's very useful to just use Charizard in this fight, and then SD into whoever after. Meta Knight. This is terrible RNG. That was really, really bad RNG. But so what we do is we warp back because it's faster than running all the way back, and then we pick Charizard, do the fight, and then we SD here and continue on with Meta Knight.
Yeah, you can use Meta Knight for the fight, but it's not really faster, and you can take a lot of damage, which is bad.
Like, it saves about... If you have, like, a perfect fight with Meta Knight, it still saves, like, 15 seconds over using Meta Knight there.
Because you're going to save time on the next split, because you don't have to die.
Yeah.
But it's just the risk of taking damage really isn't worth it.
What? Okay.
Short hop up air.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, Snake is a dumb fight sometimes.
It's because Snake has such whack hitboxes and stuff. He's such a weird character. This character is also like, super trolly to me, at least. Or he can be. No, Game & Watch.
Yeah. There's been one time where I lost 30 seconds on this because I dropped the key.
Yeah.
After you get the key, you can either return where you came from or go down here. I think going back up is faster, but you can get hit, and if you drop the key, you lose a lot of time.
I keep getting a weird hit.
To kill.
He doesn't die, like he dies pretty late. You have to do a decent amount of damage to him, and he can just troll. Theoretically, if I can get him to land on a platform and just not tech, because he usually doesn't, then I can just up B him and he'll die, but he didn't work with me there.
Yeah, that's the same strat as Pikachu too.
Yeah.
That one beam sword has a ridiculous hitbox, so doing that movement kind of lets you get away from him. If you keep going up the ladder, you have a chance of getting hit, which is not fun.
Yeah.
Also, Primate seem to have like frame 1 moves, and it's really unfair.
Yeah, they made the enemies OP. Low-key OP.
Meta Knight is often a difficult fight, but that one wasn't. That was really good. Same with Ness. Ness is sometimes really weird, but for the most part, you can just get him off stage and then hit him and he's dead.
Cool. That's the setup I like to do with Ness. It's very consistent for me.
Yeah, that's good.
I DI'd and rolled at the same time, and that looked whack.
Amazing. If you hold shield and just DI, you can go flying.
Yeah.
That's TAS stuff.
Hey, I'm Tass.
Whoa.
Hi, I'm TassBot. Nice to meet you. I'm just really bad at Brawl. I'm good at other stuff.
It's hard to console verify a Wii, so we're trying.
Woo, that was almost a little too early. Shoot.
Gliding
Okay.
there is really difficult to do properly.
Yeah. I tried though.
Forky, similar to a while ago, can either go really good or really bad, just depending on moves.
Yeah. That's fine, I guess.
Good. Yeah, that was pretty good. Not a lot of damage, so that's good.
Yeah, so right here, I could either go and heal, because there's a heal door like right before we get to Donkey Kong, or you know, if I want to go fast, I can not heal, and I don't really have that much percent, so I'm gonna not heal.
You don't need to.
And there's a lot of like easy, like safe strats for backup, so
yeah,
it should be fine.
And you can heal in about 8 fights, 6 fights, for free. So there's a lot of stuff you can do for DK.
Cool. All right, good stuff. So yeah, I mean, especially at this point in Great Maze, it's kind of just, you know, rinse and repeat. We're going to be doing our basic movement. There's some stages later on that are a little tricky, and a lot of stuff can go wrong, but this little section right here is kind of just rinse and repeat stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of just go to the next fight and then finish it and keep repeating. Pikachu's an odd fight.
Yeah, he can die pretty early, but his AI is a little weird.
Yeah.
Oop, go. Okay. Like in Subspace, in the Bomb Factory too, there's the door. I didn't really mention it last time, but the door, I need to press those 3 colored levers to continue on in the stage, or to go into the door. So that's what we're doing right here, but we're also going to be, you know, doing fights. I can get this. Sick. And there's Rob.
Yeah, Rob is weird.
He is up B and he's dead. This room you're supposed to go like all the way to the left and grab a key, but Meta Knight is also good, and you can just use a sword and press the button from underneath. Makes this section very, very simple.
You get nice loud audio on all those balls stacked together.
It's quite the... I think it's such a satisfying noise. Press 1 if you thought that was a satisfying noise.
No.
Oh, I saw the cracker launcher, dude. Dang.
I mean,
There it
at
is.
That point, you didn't really need
Jeez.
it.
I know.
If you got it 20 seconds ago, it'd be better.
Yeah. Right at the beginning. That'd be sick. Whoop, go down. Alright. So that's the other door that I could heal at, but I literally took like 2% since I...
Took
like
4% between Porky and now, so that's really good.
Yeah, so we're just gonna keep going. Oop. Oh,
Bowser
shoot.
can kill you really easily, but at this percent, it's really not something to worry about.
Yeah. He kind of trolled there. Usually he doesn't dash attack. He'll usually just run at you, and then I usually fall, fall nair, and then he'll hit him, and I can just go from there. But he dash attacked, so I had to work with it.
Yeah, Maze is kind of all about adaptation. Kind of knowing what they can do and what you can do.
Yeah. Some pretty basic, just cart movement. Give me a second to not have to touch my controller for a few seconds. Great Maze is a
Nice
lot
and
of
chill.
stuff, so it's nice to have something just
It's a really
for a
nice
few
break, yeah.
seconds. DDD again, he dies really easily for some reason.
DDD also can kill you very easily,
Yes.
even at like 80%. But after the next fight, we can heal for free, so it's good. That spinner that was right under that ledge can kill you at like almost any percent if you get hit by it and then get stage spiked. You just get sent straight down, and then the camera can't keep up.
Yeah. The camera in this game is really wonky. I didn't exactly go into it too much because I was trying to focus in Bond Factory 2, but when there was a sling pod that, or just whatever, I can't think of what it's called, but
I just call them sluds.
yeah. If just the camera just doesn't work with you, it can just kill you. It'll just shoot you into the death, and the camera won't follow you for some reason. So you have to kind of adapt to it. I think if you tech roll into it, the camera kind of works with you, but
Yeah, it's weird.
so pretty basic stuff. And I usually go for that heart container before Fox. Just it's nice to get the health, and you don't have to waste too much time doing it because there's a lot of stuff that happens like right after Falco. So you want to have low percent, preferably.
Yeah, compared to healing through a door, healing after Falco is basically free.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Alright, well.
Yeah, this fireball attack can basically kill you at like 50%, so it's really dangerous.
I played that a little safe.
Yeah. If you hit Meta Ridley out of that fireball, or you can hit Meta Ridley out of that fireball attack, but you still risk getting hit by it, so...
I got there a little too late for me to be able to do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have risked it in that spot. When boss fights are done, you can't die. You can still take damage from like bombs, but there aren't any blast zones, so you can kind of just do whatever without any risk.
That was the weirdest Mario fight of my life.
It was still really good though. Mario's awful.
Mario controls so hard. He's like, I think he's probably like one of the trolliest characters, like top 3 trolliest characters in
Top 3
Maze.
is Zelda, Mario, and Fox.
Yeah, Fox is pretty bad. It's definitely Zelda and Mario.
Yeah, those 2 are the worst. Yoshi's pretty bad, but usually consistent.
Because he usually does like a consistent method of movement.
Yeah.
Zelda
Mario
doesn't
does
at
whatever he
all.
feels like. Zelda doesn't do anything consistent ever.
Yeah.
Fox is usually okay, kind of. This room is probably the hardest in Maze if you do it really quickly. You can just tornado through those flows instead of this movement, but this is a lot safer to do, and you can basically like never get hit. So it's good.
That was a little whack, but we're good.
This is the 3rd time we're fighting this boss.
Yeah, this boss doesn't like to die. The reason we fought him twice in Subspace was when we fought him in Wilds 1, we fight him, and then when we were like about to like, I guess, do like the finishing blow or something, he just falls through the ground. And then that's why
I don't understand Gallium at all.
Yeah, that's why Pokemon Trainer fights him.
Yeah.
So.
Because Pokemon Trainer and Lucas are kind of just like hanging out in this random tower, and then Gallium comes out of nowhere and is like, "Hey, I'm gonna fight you."
Yeah. And I'll take that heal. I need to go into that door either way, so.
Yeah, it's not too bad. There's only 2 fights until the next reset, so just in case though. And you can die. You can take a lot of damage into the next fight here with this spike area. So
yeah,
it's not a bad idea to heal if you're above like 80.
Yeah. And that ledge is still not grabbable.
Alright.
Oh?
Good Zelda.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe. Yeah, that was really good. Peach has been giving me a hard time as of recently. Never used to,
Same.
but like kind
Yeah.
of all of a sudden Peach just developed a better AI.
Yeah.
PAL.
She learned.
Peach was given a better AI in PAL.
It's because of Armada.
She learned. But yeah, this fight used to just be dash attack, up B, done, but now it's like get hit 100 times, then kill.
And we're gonna do this again because we have to backtrack. It's if anything, it's like a second or 2 slower, but it's a lot more consistent. And you get a free heal, so.
Yeah, it's a free heal, and you're guaranteed not to take damage on the way back, so it's just safer.
Yeah.
Plus, you
Whoa!
get an extra 8 seconds off your in-game time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does help in game time, which is the like main timing method, but not for Subspace. But
Sorta.
it's weird.
Yeah, when you exit Subspace like we did there, you get, say, about 7 or 8 seconds on your in-game time. So say, this game's in-game time is very accurate to RTA,
Yeah.
minus those like 2 resets. So say your RTA time was like a 2:05:10 or something, you can get an in-game time of a 2:04.
Yeah.
Just because of those resets in Maze.
Charizard's very similar to Diddy Fight. You just jump Nair and up B, unless they do something else.
Yeah.
And some weird movement stage for whatever reason back to here.
Yeah, that's weird.
Ooh, and the flows are out for blood, but we're good.
These flows can literally do 50 or 60% in one hit on easy. Wario drop shield at the exact frame you hit him, unless you shield poked with it.
Wario that can be like a really fast fight, or he can troll. He's kind of a troll. Because if you just do dash attack up B, he's dead. I just kind of misplaced the up B there.
Luigi's theoretically a good fight because there's like no platforms to worry about and the stage is just super basic, but sometimes his AI is a little weird.
Yeah, Luigi, he dies really quickly, but he can troll pretty hard. So
Yeah, his recovery is awful, but has good air movement, so can still get back to stage kind of easily.
yeah, when he jumps, yeah. Sometimes like it's best if Luigi kind of just like sits there and just like kind of lets you just dash attack him.
Yeah.
Because once you dash attack him, he's done. But sometimes he doesn't let you do that.
Another reason for quitting is if you die into this part with any character that isn't Meta Knight is horrible. Well, any character
Unless
that we
it's
have that isn't.
Not Charizard.
Yeah, Charizard's bad. DDD is better, but still pretty bad. So.
Whoa, that was weird. And for whatever reason, down smash does a lot more damage than Nair. So we do down smash here.
Yeah. Because Rayquaza is weird. But yeah, that one climb to get to Rayquaza is really annoying if you're anybody but Meta Knight.
Yeah.
So, don't die. We're gonna warp back to the room that we were at earlier to get to Lucas faster, which is the next fight here.
Yeah. Because there's those warps that are on the side on those platforms, but you can also warp through the map. Shouts to SWC.
What? Why?
Didn't you make
'Cause
that?
I did that?
Yeah.
Did I do that?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, cool.
Okay, cool.
Whoa, I did it. Yeah, I mean, it's about as fast as warping, and you get a heal out of it. So why not?
Yeah. I think it's actually faster than warping, and you get a heal.
Faster. Yeah,
So,
it does seem a bit faster.
I think it loads faster.
Getting to Lucario can be a pain. Lucario can be a pain. This whole section until the end is kind of just annoying.
Cool.
Ice climbers can be really trolly too if you don't kill them right away.
Yeah. Because you can't really tell which one's which.
Yeah. It's the one with CPU on top of it, but when you hit them, it disappears, so you really can't tell.
Shoot. Yep, wrong one.
You snipe the ledge, jeez. At least when you kill Nana, Popo's recovery is awful, but it still takes time.
Yeah. Yeah, fine.
Ike really doesn't know how to recover, so
Yeah, he doesn't.
if we hit him off stage, we'll probably die immediately and just won't even do anything. Got hit off the side here, but
Yeah, even if like you don't kill him off the side, he'll literally just like, I don't know how to play video games, and he just like falls.
it's way more common for him to just fall than actually like try and up B.
Yeah.
Gonna enter this door just to reset the cycle on the falling ceiling there. Some of these doors you can't warp from. This one is one of them. You can heal, but you can't like travel around the map.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay. That was weird.
That was weird, yeah.
Usually if you up B, you can up B like right onto that platform above, like where I had to go basically. But I think I up B'd a little too early.
Yeah, it was early. We got 2 fights left in Maze and then Taboo.
Oh, I went the wrong way.
Oh.
There we go.
Martha's a weird fight.
Yeah, Marth does like some consistent movement, but he has like really good recovery. So
Rarely, yeah. Doing an air dodge in your aerial kind of just cancels your tumble after the sled there. You didn't drop the key, you're good.
yeah, right.
So as long as Ganon's good, this should be good.
Cool.
Good enough.
All right, so this is the last fight, so I'm gonna just pay attention really quick.
Taboo has a lot of stuff that can kill you. We're gonna use Charizard, and that's about it. Good luck.
Thanks.
Timing ends at the final hit of Taboo. I'll let Ducky do it because I'm behind.
I don't know why I threw that bomb like that.
Missing off waves in 2018.
And time.
GG.
GG, dude.
What was the time?
2:01:53.
Sick. 50-second.
So I'm actually just gonna mash through this
Record.
so that I can get in-game time. Otherwise,
It should be 2:01.
I would watch the cutscenes because it's good.
Yeah, you
But-
still increment in-game time during the credits.
All right, good stuff. So yeah, that's world record. Cool.
Nice.
I PB'd by 48 seconds.